Have you ever just stopped and wondered how an app goes from just an idea, a thought, to something you can actually tap on in your pocket? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how that happens.
I mean, it really does feel like a bit of magic, doesn't it? You tap a little square icon and this whole interactive world just appears. But it's not magic. Behind that one simple tap is this incredibly complex journey. So, how does it really work?
You've got to think of it like you're building a house. You can't just throw up some walls and start painting. No way. You need a solid foundation. You need blueprints. It's the same for an app. So let's follow that path, from the very first blueprint all the way to that final polished product.
And that's exactly where we're starting. The app's blueprint. Before a developer even thinks about colors or buttons, they have to lay down the rules. They have to build the entire foundation of the app using pure code. Everything, and I mean everything, gets built on top of this.
So the most fundamental building block here is something called a class. And the building analogy is perfect for this. A class is literally the blueprint for a piece of the app. It's the master plan that says, okay, a user profile object is going to have a name, it's going to have a picture, and it's going to have a way to let the user log in.
Now, inside these blueprints, developers need places to store information, right? So they use these two kinds of digital memory boxes. One type is mutable, which just means the data inside can be changed. Think about your score in a game, it's always going up or down. The other type is immutable, meaning it's set in stone once it's created, like your birthday. You can't change that. Getting this right is absolutely crucial for a stable app.
All right, the foundation's poured, and the blueprints are solid. Now it's time for the fun part, building the stuff you can actually see and touch. Let's get into how developers design the interface.
And this is where it gets really cool. Developers have these incredible tools. They can look at a design view, which is basically what the app will look like, or they can see the blueprint view, which shows the skeleton underneath. But the real game changer? They can use a split view, writing code on one side and literally watching the visual design change in real time on the other. It's an amazing way to build.
And check this out. It's a perfect example of how much developers think about the user experience. You know how your phone switches to dark mode at night? Well, with just one click, a developer can flip their design into that night mode to make sure the app still looks amazing and is easy on your eyes no matter how you're using it.
Okay, so the app looks great, but a pretty face isn't much use without a brain, right? Now we've got to make it smart. We're about to dive under the hood and look at the code that powers the app's logic.
You have to understand, a real-world app can have thousands, sometimes even millions, of lines of code. It's just massive. So to deal with all that complexity, developers use clever tricks like code folding. See that little line with the brackets? That could be hiding hundreds of lines of code, all collapsed down so they can focus on one piece at a time. It's kind of like tidying up your desk so you can actually get some work done.
Now this might sound a little technical, but stick with me, because the idea is actually pretty simple and powerful. In modern programming, little blocks of code that do specific tasks, called functions, can be treated like Lego bricks. You can pass them around and snap them into other functions, letting you build really powerful features with surprisingly little code. It's incredibly flexible. So the app is smart, but does it feel alive? This next part is all about adding that polish, that motion, that little bit of magic that makes an app feel fantastic to use.
Have you ever noticed how a pop-up window doesn't just appear, it kind of glides smoothly into view? Or how a button might have a little bounce when you tap it? Well, that's not by accident. It's physics. Developers use these complex waveforms to control the speed and easing of an animation, making it feel natural and satisfying, not clunky and robotic.
And what about something really interactive, like a map? Well, developers are given this whole toolkit of commands to play with. They can use one command to instantly jump the map's camera to new coordinates, say over Paris, then another to zoom right in, and another to tilt the whole perspective, giving you that cool 3D view. It's like they get to be a movie director, and the map is their star.
Okay, we are in the home stretch now. The app works, it looks good, it feels great to use. But now we have to handle the serious stuff, managing your data and playing nicely with your phone's security rules.
So, how does an app remember what you added to your shopping cart yesterday? It uses a database. Now, don't let that word intimidate you. For the most part, it's just a simple table, kind of like a spreadsheet. It's just rows and columns that store information. This is the app's memory, and it's what keeps track of everything.
I am almost positive you've seen this screen before. On the back end, a developer writes code that tells your phone, hey, my app knows how to open web links. But the phone doesn't just blindly trust the app. Nope. It steps in, acts like a gatekeeper, and asks you, the user, to make the final call.
So why does it do that? Why does it bother you with this pop-up? Well, it's all about control. It's about security. This step makes sure that you are the one in the driver's seat. You decide which app you trust to open your links or which one handles your photos. It's a fundamental part of how your phone protects your privacy and keeps you in charge.
So there you have it. From a simple blueprint to code that folds up like digital origami to the security checks that keep you safe, a whole hidden world has to come together perfectly. So, the next time you launch an app, maybe you won't just see a screen. Maybe, just for a second, you'll see the incredible blueprint holding it all together.